up, everybody? Welcome back to BMW E90 HQ. It's Will coming at you with another video, and as the title suggests in this video, I'm going to talk about how much power does my 2009 BMW 335i powered with the N54 motor. All I have is a Stage 1 Plus tune on it from MHD. No other modification. Well, I have an intercooler to go with the Stage 1 tune, Stage 1 Plus, but a Plus tune implies that you have an intercooler. Anyway, so that's all it really has. I mean, it has a charge pipe, it has an oil catch can, a fresh walnut blast, fresh spark plugs and coils, so it should be pretty optimal. All sensors are working, logs look good. So how do I find out how much power it makes? Well, there's two choices you've really got with these cars. You can strap it to a dyno and check it out that way, or you can use a tool called virtual dyno. Now, virtual dyno, there's a lot of variables at play, like the conditions that you're taking the drive in and several things like that. You know, temperature, humidity, where you're doing it at, if it's flat, uphill, downhill, blah blah blah. So you would probably want to take several logs to try to get like an average, and it's really more to compare to see like how much power you're going to get from the next mod. So these logs here, they should be taken with a little grain of salt, but they're pretty accurate, and there's tons of people online swearing by virtual dyno. I looked on some of the Evo forums, and that community, they really like virtual dyno. They're big on it and swear by it. It seems. That's just from looking at the forums. I don't know anyone personally. So how do you do it? Well, you're going to need your Android device that has MHD on it. You're going to want to take a log. You're going to either use manual or auto logging in the monitor module. And to do logs, I really prefer the auto log. So if I know I'm going to do a log, I go ahead and switch over to auto log, because it'll just start logging immediately once the accelerator pedal goes above 50%. Anyway, so you're going to take your log. You're going to want to do it in third gear, ideally with traction control off, but if you don't have it off, it probably won't kick in third gear. So you're going to want to stabilize around 3,500 to 3,000 RPM and then just gun it. And if you have an automatic transmission, even in manual mode, sometimes it will try to kick down into second gear, and that pretty much ruins your log. You're going to get some really outstanding horsepower numbers if you do that in virtual dyno. If you put a second gear log in and tell it, it won't give you second gear as an option. So if you put it in third gear, you'll wind up with like horsepower figures of like 900 and stuff like that. And not realistic. You're gonna do that, and then you can review the log and see the graph and all that stuff in MHD. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna go ahead and you can actually use virtual dyno on the phone, but it costs money. It's free on the computer. We're gonna plug it into the computer, and now I'm going to switch over to this so that you can see what I'm doing. You would open up virtual dyno, and to find it, just Google virtual dyno. I think it'll be one of the first couple links. Download the software. Next thing you're going to do is open virtual dyno, go to file, and then load runs. And so I want the most recent file that I have, and that's going to be the bottom one here. So this one has 2018 0823, and then some other numbers I don't know. And then it says my tune, which is version 7.1, front mount intercooler, 93 octane or 98 RON, which is how you guys in Europe, I believe, measure your fuel. Now you have a choice of cars, so we'll choose BMW. We'll choose 335i, sedan auto, 2007 to 2010. Now this is a third gear log. I weigh extra weight in the car. It's about 180 pounds, so we're gonna add that. And now we have a figure we can look at. So this shows here a torque value of 370 wheel torque and 337 horsepower, and that's using the default settings that it has for barometer and air temperature. So I've already looked up everything that I need to know to change this to be exact. So barometer was 30.04, so we're going to change that. And then air temperature was 79 degrees, so we're going to go ahead and change that to 79. Now we have a horsepower figure that's dropped a little bit, but it says 327 horsepower and 359 torque. And those figures are really pretty close to what I think I should be getting for an MHD Stage 1 Plus off the shelf. You know, my setup that I'm running. We also can see my boost and air to fuel. And these figures would all kind of move a little bit to the left, but I didn't start, this pull started at about 2,900 RPM, so like it had to build boost and all that stuff. If I'd started building boost earlier, you know, all this stuff would shift a little bit to the left, and you know, I don't do the pulls much lower because I don't want it to kick down into second gear and make my logs completely useless. But these are pretty good, you know, accurate figures that I think adequately represent the horsepower that my car makes. This is not the only log that I've actually done with Virtual Dyno. I've done several, and while the figures are not always exactly the same, I usually get about 330 wheel horsepower and roughly 360 wheel torque. You know, give or take, like this one's a little bit less. I had a couple that are a little bit more. The best one I got made 344 wheel horsepower, and I forgot the torque with that, but I think it was like it was nearly 380. So they can kind of vary a little bit, but that was like in, you know, early in the morning when it was cold outside. You know, it was like 60 degrees compared to 80, so big differences. I hope you guys found this informative. If you haven't ever used Virtual Dyno, go ahead and take a log. Tell me what your car is making on Virtual Dyno. We can compare some numbers, put mods up, you know, all that good stuff. If you have a real dyno, go ahead and say what you're making. Hey guys, don't forget to hit that like button. Also hit that subscribe if you're new. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.